Dulo Folarin Harris, aka Dulo, is a Nigerian-American comedian who you may know for his viral internet content containing infamous animal voiceovers and skits with millions of views. Now, he's teamed up with US-based Kenyan musician King Kanja for 2 sold-out shows in London. It's an example of how African musicians and creative talent are keen to share their culture on wild stages. BBC's Nyasha Michelle spoke to King Kanja and Dulo and asked what inspired them.
We said, guess what, let's go outside of our comfort zone and do this. We only decided, we were only planning on doing 1 show. That sold out, and then we added a 2nd show. This movement here, this energy between myself, this energy between myself, my boys here, we're trying to show people our energy.
This is my mom.
Pour me some water, Joe.
This is my dad. When I was 6, we moved from Nigeria to America, and the transition was tough.
You're an African booty scratcher.
You've been viral quite a number of times on social media. People still, they love your sketches, etc. And being here in the UK, I actually remember seeing parts of your show. Tell us a little bit about what that show is about and how the idea came to pass.
Before we came up with that show, I'd have been doing, skits and just regular sketches. I linked up with a writer, very, very brilliant guy, Damilare Sinoki, combined our heads and wrote this thing. We said, guess what, we have to put this on a bigger scale other than skits. We need to get proper cameras behind this. Let's portray how it was growing up as an African in America. So when we did that, we knew that it was going to go because my skits were already going viral.
Everybody at this table, God, bless them, give them blessings. We will continue to succeed in this house. Bless my child, Ayodeji.
Okay, so you're both gifted in different ways. You're a comedian, you're a singer. How are you using your talents to spread the knowledge of African culture?
I put it in the music. Like, you'll always hear me say a couple Swahili words. Habari zenu mzuri sana. You know what I mean? Like, I'll put like some Swahili words just to, that's like my shout out to Kenya and Africa, but I do it on mainstream music.
Like it was a lie. Have you lived in every moment?
Since you're one of the Grammy voting members, how important do you think it is for there to be an African presence and an African voice?
It's very important because there's now a lot of new members that are Africans for the Grammys. You see, you cannot win a Grammy from like audience voting. It has to be voting members. So there's chapters. We get to vote on our own music and support other people's music because we understand it. Like African music, like you can listen to it and like it, but if you didn't grow up in it, you can't understand certain frequencies because music is frequencies. You know what I mean? So being African, it just hits you. Kind of like when you were in the village when you were young at your grandmother's and you hear that old country African folk music. It's a feeling. And now we're bringing that to the mainstream, and that's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, the continent is powerful and is very influential. And there's a lot of things happening. The elections are coming up in Nigeria.
Yes,
so how involved are you in that?
I really don't like to touch upon it because today politicians or even, media can have us feeling one way because that's their aim. They want us to feel this way based upon what they show us in the news or what we read in the newspaper. And it's very divisive amongst people.
All right, so we don't want to turn our audiences off. So before we wrap up, I'm going to have to ask you, tell me one of your most funniest jokes that's going to have me rolling on the floor right now.
You should have been at the show. And what I don't, and listen, let me tell you something. Whoever's listening, right? Who's ever listening right now? Comedians don't like when you say, tell me a funny joke.
Aye, why not now?
We do not like when we say, tell me a funny joke.
Hey, that's a cop-out.
Huh? No, let me tell you, comedians don't like that because it's like, hey, I know professionally I'm funny. Like, it's almost like if you see a basketball player, right? Michael Jordan, hey, shoot a shot for me.
But I would do that. I would actually tell.
Michael Jordan would be like, listen, go sit on the bench, please. I'm not shooting no shot.
All right, so clearly I got to come to the next one.
You got to come to the next one.
Okay. And then for yourself, King, you are the musical genius.
I said, come out, my angel, come out of the dark. They trying to put your name to shame. Yo, stand out, my angel, stand out of the crowd. You know you got to shine, baby.